Yes, you read the title right. We have some organization final announcements, obviously, as Pro League is right around the corner. So this was to be expected. I told you guys, obviously, with Pro League being tomorrow, you are going to get a lot of these announcements today. And the reason, or even yesterday, and the reason was because these guys are not going to just go into Pro League with a mystery. They're not going to, they want this stuff done. They got to get their ducks in a row. And the question is it as good of news as people are making it seem to be? I think you got to live in the moment and say yes. So let's talk about what's going on and some of the worries from some of the fans. So firstly, NRG, yes, you read the title right. NRG is back. And honestly, how can you not be excited in all of this? It's a big time organization. You know, yes, they did leave and it was kind of recent. People were like, yo, what's going on? Why would they leave Sweet Dreams just to come back after they made it very clear that they're never coming back? I think Sweet even said NRG's not coming back, or it just seemed like there was definitely no option. Well, when Esports World Cup, this is the frustrations, right? Esports World Cup gets announced and everybody starts to come back. Is it so? Listen, hear me out. Is it really? The question begs. Is it really a good thing for Apex, or are we living in some temporary high where as soon as the World Cup is over, these organizations just back out? Just listen to this. A lot of these organizations, from what I'm hearing and the contracts that I have seen, not saying specifically NRG, I'm just saying specifically like, you know, some of these other mid-tier organizations that are good, are known, but they're not big time. Like Falcons, for instance, I would say Falcons, they're a big organization. They're big time. They're probably signed this team, their roster, their super team roster, for more than just one event, if I had to guess, because they're putting a lot of investment there. Now, on the other hand, there's some organizations out there that don't know if their rosters are going to last. So they're probably just signing them for a couple months. They're probably just signing them for Split 2 to see how they do at the LAN, see how they do in Pro League, see how they do at the World Cup. So I don't know for sure that NRG is going to stay long term. After the World Cup is over, they may bounce right back out, and you know, you may just lose sight of all of this and all this good news. But I think you got to live in the moment, to be honest with you. I think you got to look at this and say, this is good news. This is a W. They did not only come back, but they signed the X-Set roster. So Nocturnal, Reptar, Fun FPS, Coach Hodzik, and Sovereign here as well. So very excited for this roster. I think this is a team that deserves it, right? They're coming back into Pro League. They barely missed going into Split 1 playoff. They did really well in the Esports World Cup qualifier. They're going to the World Cup, so kudos to them. They deserve it, and I'm happy that they are getting involved. It definitely seems like NRG is coming back for specific reasons, but obviously that's to be determined, I guess, at the end of the day by you, the viewer. Also, we've got MKers coming out saying we are also going to be going to the Esports World Cup in Riyadh. They're going to be signing Zicky Dexter and Asia ZXD. So another announcement that has now been made official. Then you've got Keanu giving us a little bit of an update. If you didn't see my Twitter page as well, it wasn't just them, right? We saw NRG announce, we saw Falcons announce, we saw TSM announce Zapto, but Native also confirmed their roster being RKN, Rambo, and McLovin. So obviously we all saw that one coming. And then another one that was made official finally was Raven. Raven has been added to the skid mark roster over on ALGS. So of course I'm interested to see what organization this turns out to be. We know that Noct very much so bragged on the org that he had lined up. What org is that? I just can't imagine that Dark Zero at least doesn't get involved, at least doesn't talk to them, right? If they're looking to stay inside the scene, I imagine Dark Zero is a very good option. I think this roster definitely meets Dark Zero potential, and that level of competition, they are definitely going to meet it. And I'm excited to see how they do at the end of all of this. But with all these organizations coming back, right? You've got NRG coming back after they said they weren't coming back. You had 100 Thieves, you know, looking like they might start to come back. I don't think they're really in the midst of a roster announcement, though. It doesn't seem like it's as far along as some of the others. You had Liquid come back, right? All this good stuff. Well, we are really looking at this and how old some of these banner frames were, and just thinking, man, you know, those were the days, right? And look at this. Cloud9 has come back. SSG has come back. Team Liquid has come back. NRG has come back. The only person left to come back is G2 at this point. And we got to get these guys back in and get them on this train. And hey, maybe they are going to do that with the skid mark roster. Maybe it's not Dark Zero. Maybe it's G2 instead. I don't know, but a lot of people obviously are looking at many of these organizations, many of these teams, and wondering what is going on. Also, I had to mention some of the scrim results. Once again, Space Station going back to back with double wins, man. This team, very talented, very good. Tripods in second, Team Falcons in third, Team Moist in fourth, TSM in fifth, Oxygen in sixth, Edgers in seventh, EC in eighth, Most Hated in ninth, Elevate in 10th. Some of your bigger organizations or teams still struggling on the backside of this. Furia in 11th, not normal. Skidmark, obviously 13th. You've got NRG in 16th. It's still so weird looking at NRG and thinking that's not Sweet Dreams' team. Then you've also got Complexity in dead last. Moving over to the second one, I told you guys Space Station in 1, Flat and Vanity in 2nd, Oxygen in 4th, NRG in 5th, CCE in 6th, Furia in 7th, Liquid in 8th, Falcons in 9th, LG in 10th, and some of these other big teams, Native in dead last, Cloud9 in 18th, Elevate in 17th, Tripods in 15th. Then you've got Oblivion, Stallions, Most Hated, Yup, in the top 11 through 14. So really interesting stuff. You're still seeing Falcons kind of be, I don't hate the messenger, but mediocre. Honestly, they are right now. Hopefully they turn things up, and a lot of you Imperial Hal fans can get what you deserve, but I think they're becoming the villains at very obvious this point. Also got to make mention of some drama going on in the scene. If you guys didn't see this yesterday, it kind of continued yesterday, but it was really started from like 3 days ago. Reeds had posted just his little clip dump, right? Reeds versus Super Team. He was playing in the Scrims. He fights SSG. He kind of gets a 1v3, but he also dies to zone right after. But, you know, sure, he makes the post over on Twitter.
They're sticking too. They're sticking too.
Yeah, I can stop it. I can stop it.
Yeah, no, Nate's insane.
I killed blood. I killed blood. Last guy.
Okay.
100 on him. I shit on him. I'm batting. I'm batting.
Swing with me.
Oh, fuck. It's on. He's one. Literally one.
Zainu responds saying, Reed, you are not real. Reed's responds saying, you're looking a little lost there, bud. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. And man, oh man, it seems like drama started. Zainu said, well, it looks like you're looking for a team there, bud. Don't worry. It happens to the best of us, right? Reeds has been going through this LFT process, doesn't have a team, been looking for a team, and of course, very talented player. And I'm kind of surprised that he's one of those that is left out from a team. Now, of course, a lot of people still making decisions. Roster locks are being put into effect. So there are roster locks that go into effect, but you can even see from like the Furia situation, right? There are things that can happen, say personal life, whatever, that will allow for rosters to make changes and pick up people like this. So we'll see how it all goes. Obviously, I think context is everything. But Reeds responded to this saying, only one of us has cried on Twitter after missing finals and then deleted the tweet. Zainu says, well, it shows which of us actually wants to win and who's sitting around paycheck stealing like you. Let me know how the LFT life is. Like, golly, man. This is getting crazy. Naughty had to step in and say, Zainu, stop being weird. But Reeds also responded saying, that's cope and you were just crying about it, really. And man, if people are to comment, Zainu was right. No, Reeds was right. These guys are going at it. Hey, at the end of the day, I love bringing attention to it because I think it makes Pro League more fun to watch and entertaining knowing the beef. I think it makes LAN more fun to watch. And it also is content to talk about at the end of the day. If you guys want to stay up to date with all things going on inside the world of ALGS, like and subscribe. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.